We are live.
Hello, and welcome to Armbar Audio. I'm your host, Tim Farley, and next to me is my trusted companion.
John Kurtz. What's up, everybody?
We are here to talk about the highly controversial pay-per-view from last night, 2019's Hell in a Cell. We'll be going over each match.
All of them? Every single one?
Every single one. And I'm going to give you my thoughts.
Including the
And
five
John's
that
gonna
were
give you
announced at
his
5 p.m. yesterday?
Yes. John did want to talk about how they scrambled around to fill the card, but I felt
It
like
ended up being not so bad.
yeah, I felt like all the matches made sense except one.
It was just crazy how last minute it was.
But they pulled it off.
Yeah.
In my eyes, at least. So the show started off with the Raw Women's title match, Hell in a Cell match, Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks.
Holy crap.
Lot of action. Sasha attacked before the cell was lowered, slamming Becky's head off the bottom of the cell. They went outside and Banks got back in after the cell was lowered, and Becky kicked the door right in her face. Becky grabbed the chain for the lock of the door and wrapped her fist in it and started clobbering Sasha. After rubbing Sasha's face on the cell, she took the chain and locked the door. While Becky got a table and went to pull a ladder out, Sasha blasted her with a chair. Banks slammed Becky's arm in a chair, a meteor onto the chair for two. Becky dropkicked Sasha off the apron into the cell. A Beck exploder into the cell. I mean, I could go on for the whole show and tell you what they did because everything was like a major spot. There was a meteor off the apron into a ladder. Banks used the kendo stick for a bank statement, but Becky got out. Sasha threw Becky into a chair that was sticking out from the cell. The match ended with a Beck exploder off the top onto a bunch of chairs, and they disarm her, and Becky retained in a great Hell in a Cell match. And I will say this Hell in a Cell match made me think this is probably the best Hell in a Cell match since they started Hell in a Cell as a pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was definitely the most creative.
Yeah. I mean, the only other one that comes to mind is Dean and Seth.
Yeah.
Because everything else, since it became a pay-per-view, felt watered down and shitty.
Why is the cage still red?
Because the theme is red, and probably because of the Fiend.
I don't know.
They went with the red lighting.
Yeah, but the cage was red last
year. Maybe they just like that shit.
The red cage. It's like
the red cage.
This is when they finally just discovered colors. Every belt's a different color. Now the Hell in the Cell is red.
Wait a second. What is that title? The Cruiserweight title? It's fucking purple, damn it.
Yeah, it is purple. You made it that way, Dad.
I sure as hell didn't.
Yeah. It was Akira Tozawa the whole time. I don't know.
You're fire!
I missed that, by the way.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, hilarious. We already got off track. The second match was a tornado tag match between Eric Rowan and Luke Harper versus Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. Reigns hit a Superman punch on the outside after Bryan started hot, but then Rowan and Harper took over, and they took over. Rowan showed a lot of agility, hitting a dropkick and a spin kick. At one point, Reigns ran toward Rowan, and Harper intercepted with a beautiful kick. Bryan had Rowan in a label lock, but Harper broke it up. Bryan went for the clothesline, but Harper hit a Michinoku driver. Bryan and Harper have some time in the ring, and Bryan kicks Harper's chest in. Rowan pulled Bryan out. Then Reigns hit a drive-by on Rowan, and then Harper hit a suicide dive on Reigns, all in succession. Rowan drove part of the barricade into Roman's face, sending him into the crowd.
I love that.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was an awesome spot.
I'm finally, I've never seen anyone use part of the wall as a weapon, like physically picking it up and using it. And I always say it, if you can show me something, I've been watching wrestling for so long, if you show me something I've never seen before, instant up from me.
Yeah. Bryan hit a Rana, sending Harper off of an announce table, and then Reigns ran across 2 tables and speared Rowan through a 3rd announce table.
Oh, yeah.
Harper blocked...
The German table got it this time, not the Spanish.
Yeah. 9! Not the table!
Mine okay,
that was
you were Japanese there for a minute.
I don't know what it was. Not the table.
Mine desk.
Harper blocks a Rana and powerbomb Bryan off the top for 2. Superman punch, running knee, and spear combo on Harper give Bryan and Reigns the win in an outstanding tag match. After the match, Bryan refuses a handshake from Roman Reigns and starts a yes chant from the crowd for a hug. And Reigns and Bryan hug. It felt like Team Hell No for a second there.
Yep.
All right. The next
Roman
match.
and Daniel actually made a really good team.
Really
surprisingly so. This match and Sasha and Becky were the matches of the night for me.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that doesn't mean that the rest wasn't good or anything.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of highlights here.
Randy Orton versus Ali. Orton caught a rolling Ali for an RKO for the victory. Yeah. Match is pretty good.
Yeah.
Ali is a lot like Christian, and these two had great chemistry as such.
Yo.
Paint by the numbers Orton match with splashes of fast-paced and fun offense and counters from Ali. Ali even countered an RKO by going with it and then stopping midway through.
Yeah. But the match did end with a classic RKO literally out of nowhere.
What?
RKO out of nowhere.
That's how it ended.
Yeah, that's how it ended. Yeah. With a good old-fashioned RKO out of nowhere is what I say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Randy Orton. You hate him.
I don't hate him. I just think he phones it in.
I just think he's slow and a shitty wrestler. I don't hate him. No, okay.
I think he's a shitty wrestler.
I know.
I think he's way too thoughtful.
Yeah. Heyo, Sid says.
Anyway.
Sid's in the chat.
Hey, Sid. How are you? Hope you're having a great day.
Nerd.
Women's tag title match. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus the Kabuki Warriors. The match was boring until Cross got the hot tag.
True.
I'm not going to lie.
Like every match with them.
Yes.
Boring until Cross gets in.
Kari went for the insane elbow, but Cross got her knees up. Asuka broke up a pin after the Hangman swinging neckbreaker from Cross. Asuka kicks and kicks and kicks and kicks Cross, and the crowd cheers and boos, and Asuka tells them to let it all out. She's just like, come on.
Yep.
Asuka with green mist to Cross's face and a head kick for the win. Yes! I hope they get pushed and we see more of them.
Yeah.
Because they could easily just treat them like the Iconics.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day be like, oh, who's the women's tag title holders? Oh, I guess we should have a match with them and not fucking defend the titles. And then 2 months later, have them lose it.
Well, Peyton Royce made it very clear that they are coming for the Kabuki Warriors on Twitter.
Peyton Royce can come in. Anyway, the OC versus the Viking Raiders and Who was their partner that they chose?
It sure wasn't Cedric Alexander.
It was Braun Strowman. And this is I was alluding to in the beginning of the show. This match didn't make sense to me. I didn't like that they chose Braun Strowman over Cedric Alexander. Cedric got a lot of comeuppance, I believe, last Raw on AJ Styles.
Yeah.
So why wasn't he here? I'll tell you why. Braun Strowman and Tyson Fury are having a match at Saudi Arabia, and they are trying to push Braun.
Do they even know who Tyson Fury is? Because I didn't.
I didn't, but I found out. I don't watch boxing. I don't watch sports.
I don't even know when it's on.
Other than hockey.
I don't even know when boxing happens.
Randomly.
Yeah.
Anyway, first note is, what happened to Cedric?
He's dead.
I was impressed by Gallows, who hit some big kicks. AJ did a spot where he dropped off the apron, distracting Eric.
So
Braun got hot and did the train, but back in the ring, AJ hit a chop block and locked a calf crusher in, but it was broken up. Then they all brawled, and the OC beat down Braun to cause the DQ. After the match, the Vikings hit a double suicide dive on Anderson and Gallows, while AJ tried a phenomenal forearm, but got knocked out by Braun. This was a pretty decent match.
Yeah. AJ got knocked out by Braun. Like, damn.
Yeah, like they had to tell him what the day was. And
yeah.
everything. It was pretty funny. We then got a segment where Tamina rolled up Carmella for the 24/7 title during a Street Profits promo.
Cool.
Whatever. The 24/7 title has lost its novelty.
Yes.
It's old now and kind of annoying.
Yep. Says our truth.
Yep.
He's become old and annoying.
And almost what we're about to talk about.
Yeah.
Almost. The next match will probably be very, like, why wasn't this the end of the feud? Baron Corbin versus Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Corbin talks before the match, which was cringeworthy.
Who is it?
Baron Corbin and Chad Gable.
That's refer to him by his proper title.
I'm not.
Yeah, I am. Because he's the king of WWE. King Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Versus Chad Gable.
Corbin talks before the match. It was cringeworthy. Of course, he makes multiple references of Gable's height, calls him Shorty Gable, which Graves called him the entire match. Early on, Gable was relentless with his flip kick, chokes, and an ankle lock. Gable chants from the crowd until Corbin threw Gable outside. Corbin then started to have his way with Gable. Gable hit a missile drop kick, but Corbin hit a big spine buster. Gable hit a chaos theory for 2. Corbin catches a third running kick and powerbombed Gable for 2. Deep 6 for 2. Gable gets out of an end of days and hits a swinging neck breaker and a moonsault off the top for 2. Then walks in an ankle lock, but Corbin makes it out of the ring. Corbin went to hit Gable with his scepter, but the ref pulled it away, and Gable rolled Corbin up for 3, and the announcer even called him Shorty Gable.
Oh, no.
Good match, but I don't know if I can get behind this Shorty Gable name.
I didn't know that.
Shorty G makes more sense. Oh, God. But so if he wants to be taken seriously like his in-ring repertoire is, he should just be Gable or Chad Gable. Why do they have to do this to him? To endear him to the crowd who are shorter than most wrestlers? Most likely.
I guess, yeah.
But it's still just...
They had to do it to him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We then get the penultimate match. SmackDown's women's title match, Bayley versus Charlotte. Before the match started, there was a fun spot with the 24/7 title where Tamina used Funaki as a shield, but then Funaki got serious and was going to fight Truth. Tamina pushed Funaki into Truth.
That I'd pay to see.
Yeah. Tamina pushed Funaki into Truth, but Carmella kicked Tamina and had Truth win the title for like the 20th time.
Yep.
Bayley missed. Going into the match now. Bayley missed a flying crossbody. I like Charlotte using almost a lion tamer type Boston Crab now. Bayley got more offense in than a Clash of Champions. Bayley targeted Charlotte's leg, even slamming it off the LED boards on the outside and smashing it off the ring post. Charlotte then targets Bayley's leg. Charlotte hits natural selection for 2. Moonsault from Charlotte is met with knees by Bayley. Bayley tries to win with rope leverage, but the ref catches it. But as Bayley argues with the ref, Charlotte takes Bayley down. Charlotte wins her record-setting 10th title by locking in the figure 8. Afterwards, Bayley cries and says, "Why does it always have to happen to me?" This was a good match.
Not wrong.
And this was a good match, and I see a darker version or a more heelish Bayley coming.
Yeah, definitely.
Before the last
match,
I'm
here for it.
Yeah, I'm pumped. Before the last match, we had Gable get interviewed backstage where he's, talked a bunch about Corbin and how he beat him and everything. And then Corbin attacked. So I guess the feud's not over, which it should be. Oh, boy. Hell in a Cell Universal title match. Seth, the Beast Slayer, the King Slayer Rollins versus the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Did not write notes for this one, just sat and watched it. Heard all the hoopla about the ending, how people were booing and chanting AEW and didn't like it. Oh, you're all wrong. You're all wrong. Because, number one, you're calling it a DQ finish. It wasn't a DQ finish. If you watch any wrestling outside of WWE, you would know what a ref stoppage is. As pointed out by my co-host, John Kearns.
Yeah. So, after reading everything on Twitter and everything, I went in with very low expectations.
Right.
I expected to see a squash. But that's not what I saw. I saw a very back and forth contest between Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt, the Fiend. Spoiler alert, Bray Wyatt is the Fiend.
Right. Bray Wyatt in this match is now on Undertaker status.
Yeah.
Bro is...
And he got to do all his creepy shit.
But he was booked strong.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins had to hit like 10 knees, a pedigree, smash his face with a chair, smash his face with a chair and a ladder and a toolbox, and then finally what made the ref stop.
I will say, yeah, the toolbox and the ladder and the chair on top of Bray looked brutal.
Yeah, and then he took a sledgehammer, and that's when the ref stopped it. And
yeah, the ref.
I do like how Rollins uses the pedigree, and now he's starting to use the sledgehammer.
Yeah.
So it's like, he's Triple H's son or whatever.
Yeah.
That he never had.
Yeah.
But
pretty much. And I don't get the red light thing. It made everything outside the ring hard to see. To me, anyway. But I have very poor eyesight as it is.
Bray brought the mallet and used the mallet.
The Harley Quinn-esque camera.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
The big boy.
That he beats a rambling rabbit with.
I'll talk about that. It's sad. Be nice to rambling rabbit.
He hit a few Sister Abigails into
the cage.
Yeah, thank you. There was just a lot of good action.
A lot of good action with a confusing finish.
Yeah, the ref stoppage. So after the ref stops the match, Rollins wants to keep going because
he did because
he was afraid.
Presumably, Bray was unresponsive. Is what I saw. Is what I think they're gonna say.
While I was saying, he was booked really strong. He kicked out at one
of everything.
Of everything, except once he kicked out at two. But I mean, it was insane.
And every time he kicked out, he would stand back up and just scream at Rollins.
Yeah. So then, after the match, Rollins wanted to hit him some more because it felt like he was genuinely scared and felt like this person or thing needed to be eradicated.
I must kill.
Yeah.
Destroy.
But he didn't get that chance.
He won't be hurting anyone anymore.
Bray got up, hit the Sister Abigail,
and the man
pulled up the covering of the concrete on the outside, hit his Sister Abigail.
At this point, the cage had been lifted.
Yeah, and locked in a mandible claw. And that is whenever the lights started flashing, we started hearing the music.
Yeah.
And we went off the air with Seth Rollins bleeding out of his mouth and the laughter of Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt laugh track. Yeah.
I thought it was awesome. They didn't want to put the title on Bray this early. They wanted to show the world how strong
they also didn't want to have him lose.
Right. And they wanted to show the world how strong he was. And, you know, the Fiend character probably doesn't care about a title.
No. So, I know that we are very much in the minority here, but the ending of Hell in the Cell wasn't bad.
I will go on record and say that this was the best Hell in the Cell pay-per-view since its existence.
Yeah, because Hell in the Cell as a pay-per-view historically does not have a good track record.
No. They had a match with Undertaker and CM Punk, and it sucked.
Yeah.
Because CM Punk was in the doghouse. It could have been great. What's the other one? CM Punk versus Ryback. Who gives a shit?
Oh, Alberto that's what started the whole pragmatics shit.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them just were not.
And there were good matches sprinkled in.
Yeah.
Charlotte and Sasha was an awesome match the first time it happened.
I thought Sasha and Becky was better.
Sasha and Becky was better than that. It was. Everything up until the ending of the Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins match was a good Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, the crowd was really booing the shit out of Seth Rollins. Like,
yeah, but only when he started with the stomps.
Yeah, before the controversy of the ending, when it looked like Rollins was going to win.
The crowd
was just booing the shit out of him. And like a lot of people talk about Kofi's ring, but if you have a whole arena booing you,
yeah,
and you were the face, that is not good,
man. No,
that is not good. I give this show
because every Seth Rollins title reign is exactly the same whether he's heel or face. I think so.
I think he's
I think his work with the Authority was
the best.
Leaps and bounds ahead of what he's doing now.
Yeah, for sure. Any last remarks, John?
Raw should be interesting tonight. I definitely expect Seth Rollins to go out there and talk about the hell he went through and the turmoil he went through with the Fiend, which should lead to a Firefly Funhouse promo from Bray.
Do you think Bray is going to hang up Seth Rollins' picture, or do you think Bray is going to continue against Seth Rollins?
I think Bray's going to continue against Seth Rollins.
Interesting. Because
I think what we're gonna see tonight is Bray and probably Ramblin' Rabbit doing the whole "we tried to warn you" thing with Seth Rollins.
Right. Like it's not over.
Yeah.
This Friday
draft coming up this Friday.
Yep. I expect a lot of the big names to go to SmackDown because Fox is giving them money. Other than that, man, look for a lot of promotion for the Saudi Arabia stuff and Fox on SmackDown. Can't wait for Wednesday. We'll be at it.
That's true.
Thursday afternoon, giving you our report of AEW and NXT.
Absolutely.
So with that, wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, noon, or night, you have a great one, and peace and love to all of you. Bang. Bang.